Welcome to Health Coach for Women. Intentional living for more happiness and fulfillment in your everyday life with your host, Marsha Roopchand-Walker. Join Marsha as she shares her own personal wellness journey, as well as stories from our guests that will enlighten and inspire you to move towards better health and happiness. Now, here's your host, Marsha Roopchand-Walker.
Welcome back to another episode of Health Coach for Women. Today, I want to talk about learning how to just live day to day. So what do I mean by that? I'm simply meaning to go throughout your day as taking it one day at a time. And so that by doing so, you can learn how to develop mindfulness and to decrease your anxiety, right? And to decrease your worry and your concern about the future. We all have some concerns about the future. That's quite natural, but we don't want to be consumed so much about worrying about our future, where it's taking us out of being in balance, in harmony, right, with ourselves, and where it's impacting our health. We know that stress is the silent killer, right? We know this. And a lot of times, because we spend so much time being on the go we have busy schedules with our jobs, our children, taking care of the household, or just finding things to do to escape from other things, right? And so sometimes how people cope with things, they immerse themselves in work, right? And it's because of some other reasoning. There's some other things behind it. So what we need to do is to be mindful. And we do that by just taking our daily thoughts, daily things that we want to do. We start out by just having these positive mindset. And that's why I always talk about breathing exercises. I talk about meditation, right? And so it's something that you have to do daily in order to really find it to be useful for you. And even if you did it one time, if you just listen to a little session, and you would find yourself being in a more calm, relaxed state. And so that's some of the things that we need to do. That's some of the things that I still do. I did fall off for a while, so I'll be quite honest. I stopped for a while because I was focusing on other things, right? Like my book and getting this together for this project and that project, whatever. So it happens. It happens to all of us, right? And so what we need to do once we find ourselves coming out of that place of harmony, I like to use the word harmony. When we find ourselves coming out of that, we need to get back to that and not to find ourselves dwelling on things that do not serve us, right? We cannot focus on the things that do not serve us and is not beneficial. And we need to focus more on the things that is beneficial. And some of those things is taking care of our health. That's important because no matter what you do for anyone and everyone else, what you don't do for yourself is going to have an impact, right? So what you don't do for yourself will have an impact in some way, shape, or form. And we have to remember to do that. Start out by being mindful, start out with your affirmations on what are you going to do. You may have your own little routine, create your own routine of what you're going to do. Set your intentions for the day. And so that's what this podcast is about, and that's why I call it intentional living, right? Because we set our intentions for the day and what we want. And when we learn how to be present, right, just focusing on the present moment, not focusing on the past nor the future, but focusing on the present moment, it will help you get through the day. And we can do that by doing our breathing exercises, finding a place where we could just have a place for calmness, peace, tranquility. And so depending on your routine for the day, maybe for you, it may not be early in the morning, it may be midday, or it may be at night, depending if you have children or not, or your work schedule. You know, after you put the children in bed for rest, for sleep, now you have your moment for yourself to take the time out to listen to your meditation, do your little workout, even if it's a 10, 15-minute workout, these things helps the body, and it nourishes the body, and it also helps with your brain. So these things are helpful. We have to, in order to do that, in order to really stay out of that place of going to this place of where it's unproductive, negative thoughts that come in your mind, because it's difficult, right? Sometimes it's really difficult, but we have to push through it, and we have to focus on that and ask ourselves the question, what is best for me right now in this present moment? Do I continue to stay in these negative thought patterns, or will I go ahead and move forward towards something more positive and healthy and beneficial for me, right? As well as for other people, those around you. So we need to do that. And listen, the things that we cannot change, that we have no control over, we let it be. But we have to always remember that the ball is always in our court, and we have the power to change certain situations. We have the power to change any situation that you may be in, whether it's an unhealthy relationship, an unfulfilling job that you may be in, or anything like that, something like that. So we have the power to change it, although it may seem as we do not, we do. And so you have to really think about that, right? And see, look at things and really evaluate, right? Look at the things and really evaluate where you are. And so everything that we want may not be achieved in this very moment, but we appreciate the present moment at this time. So it's appreciating the present moment at this time, although we may not be where we want to be, right? Also, although long-term you may want to be somewhere else, and that's totally fine. There's nothing wrong with that, but it's being appreciative of the present moment at this time, living in the now, the present moment. So you're not going back, right? And you're not worrying about the future of the what if, because whatever is to happen will happen. But to know whatever is in your control, you have the power to change it. Only you have the power to change it. So you practice mindfulness by being mindful, setting your intentions, right? Setting your intentions for the day, your thoughts, expressing gratitude, right? Expressing gratitude, thank you, right? Being thankful for the ability to wake up and see another day, appreciating the things that are around you. Even this, I know you may not be able to see the bright light, but it was actually snow, still have a little light flurries, appreciating the snow, even though you may not like it. So, I mean, I love the beauty of it, but I just don't like when I have to go out in the snow, driving out in the snow. So, but I appreciate everything that the creator of all has done and provided for me. And so that's how we have to look at it. I don't know if you are a believer or not, that is to each his own, but I believe there is a creator of all, okay? And so being mindful of your presence, being mindful of you being alive at this present moment, you being able to see, you being able to be in touch with your five senses, right? And to be able to still be able to do things, to write and read and see and hear and smell and be able to hear the birds chirping and see the flowers blooming. We have to look at the simple things and see the abundance in the simple things of life. And that is how I got through my period of being in a dark place, of being down and not having and losing it all. This is how you are able to move forward. And it has helped me greatly. And it can help you as well, as long as you want to achieve it. Now, you have to want it, you have to desire it. Some people care, let me say this correctly, some people choose and want to stay in a place of, this dark place of, because they just find it so hard to pull out of it. And they feel like this is the only way to get through it and to get better. But you're not going to get better. Just keep thinking about it and trying to figure out why and trying to understand certain things as to why, right? We may not have all of the answers. Now, in some cases we do. In some cases, the answer is right in front of you, but you're just not looking in the right place. I'll say that again. Sometimes the answer is right in front of you, but you're not looking in the right place. It's right there. You just have to see it. And so what mindfulness does and what living in the present moment of now does, it helps you to be able to be mindful of your thoughts, to be mindful of your actions, and as well as your behavior. It helps you to become. I guess I would just keep it short and simple. It helps you to become. So to become what? To become more self-aware, to become more mindful, to become more kind to yourself as well as others, to become more appreciative, expressing more gratitude, to simply become, to simply just be and live a life of joy and happiness and abundance. You can have that. You can have that. And it doesn't have to be in this expensive, fancy house. It doesn't mean driving an expensive car. Those things are nice. I'm not talking about the superficial material things, right? I'm not talking about those things at all. Some people find their happiness through that. And so that's sometimes we can look at people who are so successful and have all of these material things, yet they are very unhappy. And they are unhappy for different reasons in their life, because there is something that is missing. There is something that is lacking, right? That they don't have, that they are looking for. And so even with all these material things, houses and cars and whatever, and boats and all of that, there is still something that is missing. And that is what I believe is the getting to really know you, to know thyself, to really know and understand you and your place and where you fit into this universe, into this a plane that we are living in right now, right? And so it is being mindful and being more aware helps you to tune in to self. In addition to understanding that there is a connection between self and others and everything that is around us, right? And so that is what it is. And for me, this is just my opinion on my definition of it. And so becoming self-aware of yourself, getting to know and understand who you are, as well as getting to know and understanding others, as well as getting to understand your connection to those around you, your connection to all living things, your connection to everything, right? And you'll find out, I'll go more in detail about that in my book. That's actually I'm giving you a little bit of what I talk about in my book. But it is so important. It is so important for you to understand that, in life, there are things that we may not enjoy and encounter in life. And it is a part of life because it is part of the life lesson that we must be able to have a level of awareness and understanding with. And so we have to be able to go through the process in order to evolve, right? As a person, as a spiritual being, we have to go through it in order to evolve. So I can tell you about all of my experiences and what I've done and what I've learned through a life and what life has taught me, but it can help you some, right? And you have some insight, but it's still not your own journey, because everyone have their own journey and have their own lessons that they must learn in order for them to grow. And so I just wanted to clarify on that, but everyone have their own life journey that they will encounter. And it could be some hard times. It could be the loss of a loved one, right? Family, friend, spouse, whatever. It could be health issues with their own health and wellness. It can be a variation of things, but we all experience some form of challenge that we must be able to endure and to be able to pull ourselves out of it. And for some people, they may not be able to pull themselves out of it. And and that leads me on the topic of another thing that I'd like to mention is, my heart and prayers goes out to actress Regina King, with the loss of her son, who committed suicide. I believe he was 26 years old. So I will tell you that touched me in a way that really brought me to tears. I was so bothered by that, because from what I don't know them, of course, I don't know them personally, but from what I've seen, what they showed on the television, was that they had a strong bond, a strong connection, very close. Even Regina King even talked about her coming up as an actress and her child being small, and sometimes, she was not always able to be there, and she was open with that. And but from what I've seen, what they talked about is that they had this close connection, they had this close bond. And I believe, I'm not sure, I'm just going off of what I remember, what they were talking about. I believe I don't remember. I don't think he was maybe in the industry, DJ or something. I don't remember. So whatever it was, but he took his own life. And so I'm trying to understand. And I guess there are some things that I don't have. I have a level of understanding, but I don't have that clarity on as I'm looking at it to say, okay, here is a son, because I have a son as well. And so that's why I think that, resonated with me and really had me in this place of concern. So I definitely reached out to my son and I said, whenever you are feeling any kind of way about anything, feeling down about anything, reach out and text me, call me, no matter what. Okay. So I just wanted to say that. But what I was trying to understand was, I guess, sometimes people cannot express and share everything what they are feeling um, with others. And it can even be someone as close to you as a parent, right? Or a daughter or a son. And sometimes they are not able to, for whatever reason, maybe they don't want to worry the other person. They don't want the other person to worry. This is my assumption. And so they don't share their deep inner thoughts with even the most closest of all, even the most closest of all, their mother, right? Or father or sister or aunt, uncle, whatever. Even the closest of all, they don't share. So we don't know what people are going through. We don't know what is really in the heart and the soul of a person, of another human being. And so people are dealing with different things that they are faced with, whether they are hiding an illness, whether they are hiding who they really are, as far as LGBT community or whatever. Um, I don't know, right? So, but somewhere there is unhappiness. Somewhere there is no fulfillment. Somewhere there is something lacking and missing in that person um, that I can only make an assumption on because I'm not that individual, that they are lacking and it's not giving them, they are not able to find what it is that they are able to achieve. And so maybe for that person, that individual, their only way to achieve what they are looking for is to take their own life. I don't know. This is just something I am coming up with in a speculation on. And so I'll use an example. Maybe someone who is uh, actively dying, right? And they're in pain. They're in pain every day, and the pain does not go away, right? They're in pain every day. They take pills or whatever they take, to numb the pain, but it doesn't go away. And so for them, maybe they feel like this is too much. I'm tired of this body being in pain. I'm tired of this body just going through so much pain and agony that I'm choosing that I'm ready to go. I'm choosing that I no longer want this for myself. And so I want out. And so that they make the decision that they are going to end it. And it's just like the doctor, Dr. Kevorkian, they called him Dr. Death or something like that. And he was actually, I think he went to jail behind that for assisted suicide. For those people who were terminally ill and their condition was not changing and they were actively dying. And so he helped them to transition over to pass over and go over to the other side or whatever. But I'm not bringing that up to pass judgment on whether a person should or shouldn't commit suicide or whether that doctor should have aided in that. What I'm talking about is understanding to have some level of understanding of when a person is not able to get through the day. Each day is just harder and harder, right? For them to get by. Each day becomes harder and harder. And that is not my belief. That is not what I believe that the creator of all, God, Allah, Yahweh, whatever anyone chooses to call this higher intelligence, creator of all, that I believe there is a higher power, that we were sent here to endure pain and hardship, right? And so I may be going off a bit, so just bear with me. So what I'm trying to express is that that is not what I believe that the Creator has intended for us. I do believe that we are to experience some type of challenges, because that is to help us to grow into and to evolve in order so that we will become who we were supposed to be, who we were meant to be, right? And that is what I believe. Um, and if a person is just in a place where they're not able to do that, they're not able to do that for whatever reason, we are not the other person to know what that other person is feeling and going through. We can't understand that unless we ourselves have experienced that ourselves. Okay, so we can't be judgmental into trying to figure out, well, why would this person do that, or why judging them, but trying to just understand that they were in a place where they felt that was the only way, that was the only option for them. That's what they felt. And so coming back to the topic at hand on learning how to get through the day by every day, each day, is by being present, living in the now, being more mindful, setting our intentions, and doing our affirmations, taking time to just breathe in the fresh air, right? Taking time to appreciate our surroundings, even if they have icicles falling off the house. Okay. I had a big piece of icicle just fall off the house. So the house is surrounded with icicles all around the house from all the snow. Even with that, being appreciative, and like I mentioned in another podcast episode, is going through the seasons. So each period in our life, we go through a period of seasons, and change and transformation. And it's just like the four seasons that our life goes through, these periods of transition, change. And we have to be able to, if we are choosing to, right? Our goal is to be in a place where we can have that place of joy and being in harmony with those things and people around us. I believe that is where we need to be headed. That is where we need to go in order for us to really achieve and to grow and evolve into these beautiful beings and souls that we are, because we are. I don't know if you may believe that, we have a soul, but that's another topic. But to be able to grow and evolve and to reach that level of awareness. And that is what I talk about when I say, also mentioning that for this year to be the year of healing. And that's really what I wish and I hope and pray for so many people who are in a dark place, in a place of unhappiness, unfulfillment, and having issues with their health. And that's why it's so important that we have to boost our immunity, right? Boost our immunity and taking care of ourselves. And it's not just doing one thing. It's not just exercise alone. It's not just I'll eat the right fruits and vegetables alone. There's more that needs to be done. It's like a whole collection of things to help us to achieve that place of wellness. And so that's why I do what I do. But basically, we have to be mindful. Let's be more present, living in the now, not dwelling on the past and worrying about our future, but just being present right here, right now. So that is all I have for you today. I hope you enjoyed this episode. I hope you gained something from this episode. Please like, share, comment. I thank you so much. And I look forward to speaking with you next week. I do want to say one thing. Right now, I am doing solo episodes because I really just want to wrap up, and then work on marketing and promoting the book and everything like that. But I will be having guests back on later on in the future. I really enjoy interviewing and speaking with other. I don't even call it interviewing. I call it having conversations with others. I really like that, and speaking with people from different backgrounds, cultures, race, religion. I mean, I just love it. If anyone knows me, I love diversity and have a joy and a knack for learning about history and things like that. So in any event, that is all I have for you for this episode. I thank you so much. Have a great day wherever you may be. Today is your day to be grateful and happy and to live in the now. Bye for now. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much for listening to Health Coach for Women with your host, Marsha Roopchand-Walker. If you've enjoyed this podcast, please be sure to rate, subscribe, and review on your preferred podcast listening platform. We really appreciate that effort. Until next time.